Hey, meanwhile, Arcus.
Yeah, I'm assuming that while all that's happening, I'm actively running somewhere safe.
So you made it out of that building and you crossed ass into the market and you're down near the harbor now.
Man,
You're
right
kind
now
of.
my guy's thinking about how nice those kids are, too.
Meanwhile, you come around to the other side of the building and you see a door open ajar.
Can I try to track again?
Yeah, you can't track him at all. So Arcus, down by the harbor, there's a stack of crates and some old rotted fishing nets, and it smells like dead bodies, dead fish, and shit. And sitting on this crate is Vintaro. Hey, boy, come over here. I want to tell you what a great job you did. You notice he's got that really sharp knife in his hand.
Oh, shit. So I'm kind of, like, I definitely don't want to be near that knife. So I'm going to sit and try to stay at least a couple steps away from him.
Arcus, is it, right? You know,
Yes, sir.
Sopros, he's been keeping his eye on you. He thinks very highly of you. He was just saying to me the other day, he said, Vintaro, that Arcus, if he got rid of that Turos guy, he would be something else. We could use him high up in our operation. How would you like to be high up in the operation, Arcus?
What's the catch?
I think the catch today is halibut, but there's no telling in these waters. Why don't you come over here and sit down next to me, and I'll tell you what our plans are.
I'm going to take one step closer.
He's got that really, I mean, it's a 16-inch long blade. The blade is paper thin, but it's so sharp, and it's rumored to be one of the last magic items in STEM. He's going to hold it, and he's going to pick his teeth with it. So, you did really good back there. Really good. And you can keep your mouth shut, can't you?
Aye, Captain.
Why don't you come over here, and I want you to, he's going to walk across the dock, looking into the dirty waters of the harbor. Why don't you take a look in the waters there and tell me what you see? He's going to reach to put his
I heard this
arm.
from last year. It ends with me in the river, doesn't it?
What are you talking about? What are you talking about? We're all friends here. We're all part of the same operation. I'm not going to hurt you. You were just involved.
Joke.
You were just involved in something major. Come over here. He's going to reach to put his arm around your shoulder, the arm without the knife.
All right, and is he like, squeezing or?
No, it's just like
Hand on
like
the
an uncomfortable uncle.
I'll kind of step back and peer down a few steps away from him.
Okay, floating in the water is your friend Turos. Dead. His throat cut.
I step back, now a couple shades paler.
Vintaro is going to look at you and smile. It's pretty unnerving. You're not going to freeze in fear. You're not going to piss yourself. But your fight or flight reflex is getting ready to kick in. Vintaro is going to look at you and smile with such a predatory smile. It's like a great white looking at a fish. He's going to look to you and reach for your cloak front. Yeah, okay, so he is going to reach out. He grabs your shirt front, your cloak front, and he's going to stab at you. His blade is going to pass right through your shirt, right next to your skin. It's not going to cut you. It's literally going to miss, and it's going through your cloak. Your turn. What do you want to do?
All right. What I'm going to do is reach into my belt pouch, pull out my whistle, and blow it right in his ear. Try to distract him long enough to get the fuck out.
He's going to let go, hold the knife in front of him, and cringe and put his hands over his ears.
Anyway, while his hands are over his ears, so is it one hand on his ear with the knife still in it?
Yeah, like this.
Okay. So can I try to grab at his hand and pull the knife from him?
You can try. This round he's stunned because of the whistle. Meanwhile, you hear a very loud whistle blow. Salem.
What direction?
Down near the harbor.
Alright. Can you, describe the whistle? Is it something I would normally hear? Or is it
It's not anything you've heard before. It's very high-pitched.
very high-pitched?
And very loud.
Alright. I'm going to run for it.
Okay.
I'm also taking the kid with me.
Okay, the kid takes off running the opposite direction.
I'm going to shoot him in the leg. police business.
Okay, so the kid's gonna fall down on one knee
By his hair and drag him with me.
with the crossbow bolt in the back of his leg. Meanwhile, Arcus, what do you want to do? Okay, he's stunned.
He's stunned. He's got hands over his ears with the knife still in it.
Yeah,
So
with his knife in his
I've
hand.
got one hand, and he's got away from me once. So I'm gonna try again. You know, like grip one hand on the knife and the other, push his elbow, try to get him to lose his grip. So
you go to reach for the knife, and he's going to move his hand, and the knife is going to cut. Okay, you lose the pinky and ring finger on your hand.
Ooh, which hand?
Whichever hand is you were reaching with.
I'm trying to think of how the positioning would have been.
Yeah.
His left or right?
It's in his left.
So, in that case, I guess it would have been my right that's reaching
Okay.
the knife, and the left would be on the elbow.
So when you roll a 1, that's very bad. Had you rolled 2 1s, you would have been killed. You would have died. So you rolled a 1, didn't recover from it. Basically, he moved his hand when you went to reach for the knife, and I have described numerous times how sharp the knife is, and you feel a slight burning sensation, and you look on the frosted ground, and in the gloom, you see your 2 fingers lying there. And then you feel warm wetness going down your hand.
At this point, I just need to get away.
Okay.
So if he's still stunned, I'm just going to try to shove him down and then take off running.
Okay, you're going to shove him, and he's going to slide on the dock and sit down. Not going to fall in the water, though, and he does manage to hang on to his knife. And he's going to look up at you at first with surprise, and then with such anger and hatred. Are you going to turn and run?
Actually, if he's down on the ground, I'm going to kick him in the face before I run.
He's going to roll up on one knee right now. You're there. Well, you're there now. If you look up, you hear shouts and running behind you, and coming behind you is the female sheriff's deputy.
I'm going to start shouting for help.
He's going to look. He's going to see you. He licks his blade, and he looks at you. Remember this, because you're going to feel it in your rib cage. And he's going to flip backwards into the harbor. He breaks the thin coat of ice, very thin, and he's gone.